Hello and welcome to this short training video for the Chromperfect chromatography data system. In this video we are going to look at how Chromperfect produces final reports and how changes can be made to the output. New users often join a laboratory where Chromperfect has already been installed and configured. Most customers will use the software to generate calculated results normally in the form of some type of report. This report could be digital or commonly a printed report sent to the printer. It can be confusing to a new user how these results have been generated and how they can make changes or adjustments to the final reports. So, in this video we are going to have a very quick look at the structural operation of a Chromperfect system and the key components which may contribute to these calculated results and final reports. The diagram on screen shows the flow of data and control during the downloading, acquisition, and processing steps. Every data file which is acquired with Chromperfect requires a method file, and although there may be additional sequence and setpoint files, we're going to ignore these for the purposes of this explanation. Within the method file there are a number of variables, instructions and references to external files that will direct the software to process the data in a certain way and create a unique set of results. The only file that is essential for collecting and processing data is the method file. All other files shown in the diagram are optional. They may or may not be used depending on the lab's requirements. As the diagram shows, after acquisition is complete, a raw data file is created and then processed using the information within the method file. The method file may call on a calibration file, a format file, or an SEC calibration file. After data is processed using these resources, a number of outputs may occur in the form of printed reports, digital output files, calibration updates, or alarm actions. Note the term format file refers to a custom report template, and we will have a look at these in a moment. So, let's open up a method file and have a quick look at some of the important information and instructions that it contains. To open a method, we must first open the File Editor program from the main menu. A sub-menu will open and then we click on the Method button. The method file will open and you will see a number of tabs along the top of the screen. Let's have a quick look at the sections that are responsible for generating results and reports. Acquisition. Everything on this form relates to collecting the data from an instrument. The only section that is essential to enter correctly is the Acquisition Parameters box. This specifies how quickly we will collect the data, how long we will collect it for, and what channel or detector we will monitor for data collection. If we have entered information correctly here, the data will successfully be saved to disk and any other tasks or processing can be completed post-acquisition. Most of the other options on this form are not relevant in terms of creating accurate results and reports. Please consider, however, that the instrument needs to be set up correctly if we want to obtain the correct results. Therefore, you may need to consider downloading an instrument setpoint file to automatically set the parameters on the instrument prior to starting the run. Unlike the acquisition settings, however, a setpoint file is not essential and the user can set up the parameters manually using the control panel on the instrument. Events. The Events tab will list any timed events that are required for data processing. These events appear at a specific time and ensure the baseline and peak integration performs as expected. Common events include turning on and off the integration, measuring and updating integration threshold, changing baseline behaviors, and many other parameters. We have a full video detailing the use of timed events on our channel, and you should check this out for more information on the topic. Let's quickly open a chromatogram to demonstrate how these timed events can be used successfully to deal with a troublesome baseline. Processing. The Processing tab includes a section Data Smoothing. We are not going to cover this in this video. Also on the processing form are the important peak detection and integration parameters. The peak width and threshold settings tell Chromperfect how to handle the chromatogram to perfectly integrate the peaks. These settings are very important to achieve accurate results, and you should review your chromatogram to check that peaks are correctly identified and baselines behave as expected. We have other videos on the channel which detail these integration settings, so we are going to skip over the finer details now, but you should be aware that attention may be required if you have badly integrated peaks. The next section allows the user to select a calibration file. This will be an important contributor to the final report if components need to be identified and results calculated. The calibration will list components and their expected retention time as well as response factors. Again, we have other content on the channel which details the process and application of calibrations within Chromperfect. Finally, under File Options we can select what type of additional files will be produced when using this method file for either data acquisition or batch reprocessing. These additional files will have the same file name as the raw data file but will have a different extension. Options include Excel spreadsheets, PNG graphics files and various other data formats. Reports. At the start of this video, we detailed how we would explain how the final report is produced, and this is the tab where the user can select what type of reports are required. The top section deals with the fixed format report and the checkboxes indicate the various variables that can be selected. The standard report displays common chromatography results. Chromperfect offers two types of fixed format report: a short form and a long form report. The long form is selected by ticking the "With detailed file information" checkbox. The only difference with the two is the long form report has more information in the header section. Both reports will be displayed on screen now. Notice the header section change as more information is shown on the long form version. The rest of the report remains the same. Jumping back to our method file, and below the fixed format section is the option to include formatted reports. Formatted, or sometimes called custom reports, are based on templates which may be included with the Chromperfect system or could have been generated by the user. We will have a look at format files in a moment. It should be noted that many formatted reports can be produced simultaneously. These can be added or deleted by clicking the related buttons. When adding a new format file, simply select a file from a directory. It is common for users to create one report for the lab printer, a second digital PDF report for an archive on the network, and a third digital report to transfer data to a LIMS system. To understand the data included on a final report, we need to have a quick look at the two supporting files we discussed earlier, the calibration file and the report format file. These can be opened independently from the file editor program, or we can simply click on the Open button within the method file to open the associated file in a new window. Let's first open our calibration. As you may expect, there are a number of variables here relating to the expected components, retention times, response factors, etc. Although this is not supposed to be a deep dive into the calibration editor, be aware that the information contained is important for reporting as it is used to identify the components and calculate the amounts. Next, let's jump back to the Report tab in the method and open up one of our formatted reports. You will see on screen the Format File Editor dialog. On the Layout page, we are presented with a virtual report with various elements displayed on the page. The toolbar on the right-hand side allows us to add new elements or edit and remove existing elements. It is easy to build a report template, as we will now demonstrate by adding a chromatogram plot and an image file. Adding any other element listed is the same process. We can edit any element on the report by double-clicking on it. The dialog that appears will be different for each element. For example, opening the chromatogram plot properties allows us to specify how the chromatogram is displayed in terms of size and position. Whereas if we open the peak table, this details the results on the report, and we can easily add new columns which may include complex formula calculations. Before we exit the Format File Editor, let's have a quick look at the Miscellaneous Options tab. This is important as it details how the report will be produced. You can see on screen we can select the number of channels, or detectors, that will be included on our report. The template can be designed to accommodate each channel with complex comparisons and calculations between these separate channels. To the right, we can see the text file format options. It is common to use text files to transfer data to a LIMS system, and here we can change the output to provide a compatible format for the third-party software. The section for automatic processing is where we will select the various output options that are available. Here we decide if a report is sent to the printer, or creates various digital formats such as PDF, XML, or a Z file. Note that we saw earlier that the method can call on multiple report templates, while additionally each of these templates can also output multiple different report outputs. The format file editor is a very powerful and somewhat complex element of Chromperfect. I hope that this brief introduction helps you to understand its importance in producing the reports which are used within your laboratory. If we are happy, we can close our report format file and the software will prompt us to save our changes. It is worth noting, if you want to experiment with different report layouts, you can always save the format file as a different name. There is no limit to the number of format files that can be created. Hopefully this brief presentation will give you a good introduction to the data flow within Chromperfect in terms of understanding the elements and settings that may affect the final results and reports. If you have questions about the more complex topics we have discussed, please search our YouTube channel as we have many training and informational videos which should help you understand these advanced concepts. Finally, if you feel that you need some more structured training or advanced support, Chromperfect offers a number of customer training, implementation and support programs to help you and your colleagues achieve the full potential of your Chromperfect system. The services are available either on-site or virtually through our online training portal. If you would like a quote for these services, please contact our sales team by calling the number shown on screen or visiting www.chromperfect.com and using the contact form. Thank you for watching. If you have not already, please consider subscribing to our channel and clicking the bell icon to be updated when we release new videos. We would also appreciate if you could hit the like button so YouTube recommends this video to others.